Hello and welcome to a packed show, checking it out with the GMB here in the Panthers office. Inside, they're converting it into our studio for our weekly look at ice hockey involving the Nottingham Panthers. We've got special guests this week. We've got Rachel from the NHS and Nick Williams from Bluebell Hill Trust. They're with Eddie on the gallery, along with Dan Green and Evan Mosey. Joining me on the couch for a chat will be Stephen Schultz and Andy Bombach. We've got a special treat in a moment, a sneak look at David Clarke's return to the ice for training. Just him and the coach and a pile of pucks. And also, we've got, before all of that, some signing news. Now, we've had our reasons for sitting on this. They'll be explained in the Match magazine this weekend. But coming back to the Nottingham Panthers from the Grand Slam year, it's only David Ling. 101 points in 61 games. It's easier to list the awards he didn't win. He won the Cup, he won the playoffs, and he won the league with the GMB Nottingham Panthers. And some say he's retired. He says news of his retirement is a little bit premature. David Ling is definitely coming back to join the GMB Nottingham Panthers. We'll be looking ahead to the big game against Coventry with Schultzy and Bomber in just a moment. But first, let's check out our sneak preview of Clarkey back on the ice. A sight for sore eyes. David just billed this as a sight for sore eyes. Yeah. Does it feel like that at the moment? You look a bit like you're blowing.
It's tough. Any time you're out and you have to get yourself back in work mode, and you've obviously missed quite a bit of cardio for the last couple of weeks here. That was a tough one.
But you must be thrilled to be back and thrilled in such a short space of time as well, really.
Yeah. It was fortunately it was just a jaw, and I got that sorted out halfway through week one, and great performance by the boys at the weekend, and just glad to be able to get back out there and in the thick of it.
So you'll be back in the lineup for Coventry. But one last question: what do we think of Todd Niehaus up at Hands on Health?
Fantastic, yeah, he's unbelievable. What he did with me to get me back in line, literally, was phenomenal, and I really appreciate Todd, Dr. Todd.
And you literally walked into his room and he looked at you and said, "Hang on, the jaw's not right."
Yeah, we knew something wasn't quite right for it to fall back into place, but it was dislocated by the point. So yeah, he got it back in, and my head cleared, and back to normal. So yeah, great time.
More of this all week.
Yes, no doubt.
So that was David Clarke and Corey Nielsen on the ice on Monday. Just them. Where were you guys on Monday?
Wait. I was sitting on my couch. You were just having a rest. Yeah. Me and Toby were hanging out.
All right. Okay. You were having a rest?
Yeah.
All right. We'll be talking to Evan and Dan on the gallery, along with Rachel and Nick from the NHS and Bluebell Hill Trust in a moment. Joining me on the couch, we've got Stephen Schultz, 2-goal hero. Yeah. And on Saturday, Bomber Andy Bombach scored. And coming out on the 11th, October the 11th, the new yearbook, which has these guys in the gallery and the guys on the gallery all in the player profile gallery, and our new signing that we've just announced at the top of the show. He sneaked in there as well because we were able to use a picture of him from 3 years ago. And that's out after the game against Fife, but this weekend we've got Coventry at home. You looking forward to that one?
Yeah, definitely. Anytime we get to play in front of our home fans, it's always a great time.
And Coventry, we owe them because of the defeat there. Narrow defeat, though. I mean, and it is a bit of an awkward rink to go to, Andy.
Yeah, it's a small rink. The boards are pretty lively there, and I think we had a lot of new guys that didn't know how to, react to some of the stuff. But their goalie played well, but I think our offense is picking up, so I think we'll give them a little bit better shot.
Well, their goalie's played well against us for about 5 games in a row now. He knocked us out of the playoffs last year as well.
Well, it's a new year, so Stephen's starting to score here, so I think he'll put up a few by him.
He's putting the pressure on you.
Yeah, it sounds about right. You gotta live with him, so we'll see what happens.
Now, you two played together before. We'll talk about that in part 3 of today's show. But as we say, it's Coventry on Saturday, 7 o'clock start, big cup game, big Midlands rivalry. But the Panthers going into it in confident mood after last weekend.
Yeah, it was, you know, we had a hard week of practice, and we set out with a goal to get all 4 points this past weekend, and we wound up doing that. So we just want to keep this rolling, keep a good mood in the locker room, and have a good week of practice here and continue this going to the next weekend.
And Andy, the locker room was buzzing after the first win and then the second win as well. It took it to another level.
Yeah, it's been fun so far. You know, obviously after wins, it's you know, the guys are all happy and the music's going, so it's a good feeling after those both wins.
And who got the hard hat last weekend? Who got the 2 games? The boys give away a hard hat to their favourite player or the hardest working player, and then they have to do a dance in front of everybody.
Well, you know, you don't have to do a dance all the time, so it's kind of up to the player. But you know, that stays behind closed doors, so we'll keep that there.
So it was you?
No, it wasn't me. It was not me. I can tell you that.
All right, you can decide who you think should have got the hard hat as we check out the highlights from our victory, the second one of the weekend against the Braehead Clan.
Cam Jansen, a very distinct skating style. Very wide stance, low center of gravity. Hits you like a wrecking ball, doesn't he, Clarky?
Oh, that boy knows how to throw his weight around, and it's been great to have him in the lineup the last few weeks.
Speaking of Jansen, centering pass to Logan McMillan, tries to navigate his way through. Cam Jansen, and he scores! Oh, yes, that certainly did not take long. 19:26 remaining of the first period. Sharp angle shot, and he just banks it off Holt. Speaking of both goaltenders, they know each other very well. Both spent time in the AHL. And centering pass, and it's another goal! Brad Moran with the apple, passing to the slot, and it's Juraj Kolnick. The pill is moving through the neutral zone. Levitt at the half wall, between the legs of Stevie Lee. Excellent setup to the right-hand side. Stevie Lee has it. Now a 2-on-1. Mosey is there, playing catch, and Evan Mosey almost with the second chance. Robert Lakovich was playing catch with him coming down. Logan McMillan wins the faceoff. Brian Schmidt loses the puck by the end boards, and a chance for Braehead Clan erased excellently by Steven Schultz. Steven Schultz looking up to see how much there's left of the penalty, and Andy Bombach joins him. 5-on-5 hockey, folks. Andy Bombach throwing his weight around. This is a side we haven't seen too much of Andy Bombach. He's an excellent skilled player, knows how to find the slot. Not going to look for the transitional play, instead going to go behind the net to regroup. Swindlehurst tries to bank it over to Kolnick. Braehead Clan with a chance now. And a rebound goal goes in, and I believe it is Alex Levitt who gets that rebound goal in. Now Evan Mosey with the puck. Couldn't quite get a good handle on it. That shot wide, luckily. Coming from the end boards, though, there was an opportunity. Oh, nice little play by Logan McMillan. Just chip it over the opposition stick and in stride keep going. Couple of hits being thrown here, but luckily nothing happened there. Paul Swindlehurst finds Bombach from the cross-rink pass. Excellent stuff. Panthers wheeling in the offensive zone. Steve Lee chooses to call his own number, and that was tipped. And a bit of extracurricular activity here after the goal. And here comes Evan Mosey now with a speed. Tries to use the D-man as a screen. Can't get the shot through, though. He gets piled up into the corner. Cam Jansen making sure that Evan won't be knocked over too many times in this last period. Opportunity for Robert Farmer played from behind the net. Andy Bombach creating that. Steven Schultz now. And there it is! Steven Schultz with a second of his performance tonight. 14:29 left in the third period. Top cheese. One touch pass and a shot made. rebound in the slot. Steve Lee manages to clear it, and Mika Weekman is ailing. Looks like that shot came a bit high on him. Mika Weekman's got his mask off. The linesman's there. Many silent voice boxes here from the Panthers fans. Hopefully it's just a stinger and something Mika can skate off. He's up. And the Viking, he is such a warrior.
Yeah, he tried to continue to. He tried to get himself back up. I just don't think he could get any oxygen in, bless him.
Take the face off. Is he going to try to pad the stats? No, he's not. 4-1, the final score here at the National Ice Center. And a great job. Thank you, David, for joining me. And another victory for the GMB Nottingham Panthers, a 4-point weekend.
The new Fiat 500, the Icon Reloaded. In Fiat showrooms now.
Whatever your white good needs, whether it's sales or repairs, choose Jim Grice, Sutton in Ashfield. With nearly 50 years of family business experience with all major brands, we'll make sure you take home the product that fits your needs, with no hidden extras. Choose Jim Grice, Sutton in Ashfield. Friendly family business that cares. Nearly 50 years speaks for itself.
I'm Jeff Dimon, and you're watching Checking It Out from the Panthers office with the GMB.
Ice hockey, the world's fastest team sport. Played in Nottingham by the GMB Nottingham Panthers. For tickets and fixtures, visit panthers.co.uk.
We're here at the Chick Zamek Gallery, and I've got guests with me. We got Greener, we got Evan Mosey, then we have Nick Williams and Rachel Redford. Rachel works at the NHS. Rachel, can you tell us about the Trust campaign that's working in partnership with the Panthers?
Hi, Eddie. Sure, what we're doing with the Trust over the last 5 years, and now we've just entering our 6th year, we're working in partnership with the Panthers to raise the profile of both physical and mental health across all people.
Could you tell us about the community events you hold with the Panthers?
Yeah, a part of the campaign we also run community events, and that's where the players come and meet service users and carers, and we also offer the Panthers players training, such things like dementia friend training, and that again is to raise the awareness of both mental and physical health.
Awesome, Rachel. Now next to me is Nick Williams. Nick Williams is from the Bluebell Hill Trust. Last week actually we had the team come over to Bluebell Hill, and I believe it was Greener and Myers who were showing the alphabet and how it works, and some of the gear as well. Could you tell how the boys did?
They did really well last week, so they had to do the assembly in front of the rest of the team. So last week, the whole team came for some training on delivering assemblies, and then they came to our school to deliver it as a trial, so everyone could see how it works in action. But that was just the start. So over this season, we'll visit over 40 schools in the city and out into the county. And we'll also offer nearly over 2,000 guests to come as part of that programme, to come and see a game, possibly for the first time. And hopefully that will get them hooked onto ice hockey.
That sounds like a big task to organise. How are you dealing with it all?
It's quite chaotic, and it's in big demand, so we've got a lot of schools on a waiting list, and as soon as we get a place available, we offer it to them. And then we also offer opportunities for schools to come and visit the ice centre, to tour the changing rooms, to meet some of the players. So it's not just the school visits to the schools, but it's also they can come and see the Panthers in their home as well.
And Dan Green was actually on the visit. How did you enjoy being up there, and over at least 100 kids were there watching you?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it seemed like there was a lot of kids, and obviously all the guys on the team were there, and I think there was some parents at the back as well. So it was a bit of fun, doing the alphabet, and they were really enthusiastic kids. They obviously, watch hockey already, so they were getting into it and having some fun.
Now, I want to talk about something that happened in Cardiff, the very clutch penalty shot save, from Mika Weekman. Must have been a lot of nerves going through. How do you kind of keep yourself in check and kind of calm yourself down before a big shot like that?
I think it just happens so quickly, really. You know, as soon as they say it's a penalty shot, it's only probably sort of 10, 20 seconds of waiting. So obviously it was, it was a huge save by Mika, and at a really critical point. It was, I think it was 1-1 at the time, and it was obviously quite late in the game in the third period. So yeah, he made a great save and got us the win.
Now, next to you, you have Evan Mosey. Evan, you're a very special player. You can play all skating positions. Is it difficult for you to transition between all those positions?
It's not too difficult. It takes a little bit to get used to. Like, if you play forward for a while and then switching back to D, it takes, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 practices. But like sometimes in games, it's a little bit different. But it's not anything too taxing on me. I just gotta think a little bit more every once in a while, which isn't bad for me, I guess.
Now, we know you as a guy with great set of wheels. If you gotta go around the rink against Robert Lakovic, who wins?
Ooh, I don't know. It'd be a close one. I wouldn't mind doing it just to see.
It'd be a close one.
It would, yeah. It depends. I don't know. I feel like it would be a toss-up. I'd win some and he'd win some, so I don't know.
Who's your money on, Greeno?
I think I'd probably give it to Evan. I think it'd be close, but I think he's just that straightaway speed. I think he'd get away from him. But yeah, it'd be close.
Perfect. Thanks for joining us on the Chick Zamek Gallery. Now we're going to go back to the couch where Bomber Schultz here talking to Gary. And we're going to have a little bit of an ad break, and you're checking it out with the GMB.
Whatever your white good needs, whether it's sales or repairs, choose Jim Grice, Sutton in Ashfield. With nearly 50 years of family business experience with all major brands, we'll make sure you take home the product that fits your needs, with no hidden extras. Choose Jim Grice, Sutton in Ashfield. Friendly family business that cares. Nearly 50 years speaks for itself.
Amore. Subito.
Say hello to the all-new Fiat 500X. The Italian crossover, ready for action in all Fiat showrooms from April 24th.
I'm Evan Mosey. You're watching Checking It Out from the Panthers office with the GMB.
Welcome back to Checking It Out with the GMB with me, Gary Moran, and Andy Bombach and Stephen Schultz. Schultz, we mentioned you two guys have played before. You know each other. You're good friends and what have you. But does it take time to get used to each other again when you haven't been playing together in the season before this, for example?
Yes and no. We played together a couple of years. We kind of found chemistry right away. And over the past years, you know, playing with and against each other and coming in, I mean, we just have to talk a little bit more, but hasn't taken too long to find that chemistry again, which has been nice. And
Andy, you must have to adjust, like, yeah, we practice on the perfect Olympic-sized rink in a beautiful arena, or the practice rink here in Nottingham, the Olympic rink. And then when you go to the places like our opponents, Coventry, playing, that's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? I mean, however much chemistry you have between you and Stephen, he's not going to be where you expect him to be when the ice is a couple of metres narrower and a couple of metres shorter.
Yeah, it's a lot different. You know, the ice sizes. The last 3 years you've been playing on big ice over here in Germany and Austria, so going to places that are small like Coventry and, you know, Cardiff, it's a lot different to get used to. A lot of guys are around you, and it's, you know, quick decisions all the time. So we'll get used to that, and I think we'll find each other a little bit more.
And just as you two guys are getting used to each other and your line mate, and the other guys are clearly getting used to each other as well in the Panthers lineup.
Yeah, there's you know, all the other lines are clicking too. We've got a lot of scoring from a lot of guys. You know, that Moran line's doing really well, and Coco's doing well. So there's you know, everyone's rolling and everyone's scoring goals, and hopefully keep that going into the next weekend. And
we mentioned that you scored a goal at the top of the program, and you said to me afterwards that was a monkey off your back.
Yeah, that was the monkey off the back. Usually doesn't take that long to score, but for some reason this year, you know, pucks aren't going in. But, you know, like I said, other guys are scoring, so we need that to be successful.
And Stephen, you got a couple of crackers on Sunday in the highlights we've just seen.
Yeah, that was. It's always nice to get an early one, and especially when in the second period there was tough. We were kind of on our heels the whole period. Then to get one late in the second and get the guys rolling to the third was nice.
How much did you want to get a third for a hat-trick?
I mean, I did, but hit the post there in the third period. But ultimately, we won, and that's all you can really ask for.
All right, we wish you well this weekend. We hope you both score this weekend, a couple of goals, especially against Coventry. Are there any guys in Coventry that you like?
I know the goalie a little bit, just from playing against him in Germany a couple of years ago. But other than that, I don't really know anyone there.
Andy, are there any guys in Coventry you don't like?
Don't like. I don't really know that many of the guys on the team. There's that one guy, though, just from playing last week, and that Mosey got into it a little bit at the end. He seems like a little bit of a rat.
Oh,
so
Mr. Tanaka.
I don't know who that guy is, but I think he'll be a guy that we'll be watching out
I don't think he's just a thorn in our side. I think that's
okay, yeah.
That's it. That's the game.
Yeah, so I've never heard of him or seen him play before, but seemed like he got under Mosey's skin a little bit, but I think Mosey took care of him pretty well.
Yeah, it always works if you smack them before they know it's coming, Mo.
Oh yeah. I was just punch him first.
Yeah.
Be the first one to punch.
First punch, pinch punch first of the month. Are there any guys around the league that you've played with that you're looking forward to meeting again this year?
Yeah, there's actually one of my old roommates. Actually, Andy and I were in Trenton together. My roommate Ryan Hayes from Edinburgh.
All right. Well, he was on our radar in the summer. I mean, Corey was quite close to looking at that, but we were outbid by Edinburgh.
So no, Ryan's a great guy, and we look forward to running into him throughout the year.
All right, we wish you well. Have a great rest of the season. Now, checking it out, we have a good moment and a bad moment to reward. The Jim Grice's Grimaldi moment of the week, which is a clown moment of the week, named after an 18th century clown. And we have the Flower Vision Bouquet of the week. Have you got any nominations for either of them? No? Andy?
Can't say I do.
Anything good happened this last week?
Throughout the games?
Yeah.
I'd give it to, can I give it to like a bunch of guys, a group?
Yeah.
Like the defenseman and goalie, I think, did well. Only 2 goals against all weekend, so I'd give it to that group.
All right. No daft moments. Nothing gone wrong.
Not that I noticed.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find out real soon.
Well, the Jim Grice's of Sutton Ashfield Clown Moment of the Week award. Great for domestic appliances. Nip up to Sutton Ashfield and see Grice's. You've seen the advert in the show as well. Now, this week in the office, we saw some footage. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I think Corey might have shown it, where the referee in a junior game is splitting up a fight, and he chose to smack one of the players, and then all hell breaks loose. Parents get on, coaches get on, everything. I love that. I thought he might get the Grimaldi moment of the week, especially the lady at the end who shouts out, "It was the goddamn ref's fault for hitting the player." Actually, confession time. A long time ago on the radio, I had to do a story, folks, about an actor. You won't have heard of him, but a guy who played Steptoe's son. And the actor's called Harold H. Corbett. And he's called Harold H. Corbett because another bloke called Harry Corbett used to play with Sooty and Sweet, the kids program. So I had to do this story. I panicked about this. I wanted to get the name right. Harry H. Corbett. I practiced it 20, 30. When I finally got to do it on air live, panic took over and it came out, Harry H. Corbett. Sounded like a wrestler coming in from the blue corner. And it's kind of another name slip thing. I'm going to give the Grimaldi Award to myself this week because I don't know where it came from, but our goalie now is Mika Hakkinen, the Formula 1 driver. And he made quite a few saves in the game on Saturday night in the commentary because once it was in my head, it stuck in my head. So I'm going with myself for that. Bouquet, though, our bouquet moment of the week. I like your point about the defence and the goalies. We're not going to give it to the defence and the goalies, though. Our imaginary bouquet, and we'll have all the real ones this Saturday because it's a Saturday game in association with Flower Vision. So guys like Andy and Stephen and Evan and Dan will be giving the bouquets into the crowd this week. But our imaginary bouquet is going to go to head coach Corey Nilsson. Eddie on the gallery plays a thing called disc golf, where they throw frisbees into baskets, don't you?
Yeah, that's right.
It's a highly competitive professional sport. On the ice on Monday when we were filming, it turned out that Corey and David were going to play hockey golf to finish, which is where they put a puck down as a target, and first one to hit the puck is the winner. It's not the greatest of spectator sports, so I do apologise for what's coming up, but you'd think it was for the Claret Cup when the coach beat the pupil. We've got VT of that. Enjoy it. We'll see you next time on Checking It Out with the GMB, and we'll see you Saturday at the Capital FM Arena for the big cup game against our big Midlands rivals, Coventry. 7 o'clock start. See you there. Thanks for watching, and thanks for coming, folks.
Yeah.
Right, Clarky.
Whoa.